The Random Jottings of Donald J. from Nelson in Pendle. Blackburn, Old Infirmary haunting manifestation. Cleaning staff in this building are reported to occasionally see figures through doorways, although one member of staff came face to face with a Victorian man wearing a top hat. Deep within the heart of Blackburn, nestled amongst the narrow cobblestone streets, stood the remnants of a bygone era, the Old Infirmary. This grand Victorian building, with its towering facade and intricate architecture, had once been a place of healing and solace for the people of the town. However, as time wore on, whispers of eerie occurrences began to circulate among the caretakers and cleaning staff who dared to enter its hallowed halls. One such caretaker, a middle-aged woman named Margaret, had worked in the Old Infirmary for over 2 decades. She had grown accustomed to the building's quirks and peculiarities, dismissing the stories of hauntings as mere superstitions. But one fateful evening, as Margaret went about her usual cleaning routine, her skepticism would be shattered. The air in the corridor was thick with silence, broken only by the soft sound of Margaret's broom sweeping the floor. As she turned the corner, her eyes widened in disbelief. Standing before her, illuminated by the dim light filtering through the stained glass windows, was a figure straight out of the Victorian era. The man, dressed in a well-tailored suit, sported a top hat that added an air of elegance to his appearance. His face was stern and etched with the lines of time, as if he carried the weight of a forgotten era upon his shoulders. Margaret's heart raced as she tried to comprehend the sight before her. Was this a ghost? A figment of her imagination? Or something else entirely? Frozen in fear, Margaret found herself unable to tear her gaze away from the apparition. The figure stood there, impassive and undeterred, as if he had stepped out of a time portal and into the present day. The flickering light danced upon his form, casting long shadows on the walls, heightening the surreal ambience of the encounter. In a daring move, Margaret summoned her courage and took a tentative step forward. As she did, the figure's eyes met hers, and for a moment, she could swear she saw a flicker of recognition. Without uttering a word, the Victorian man slowly raised his hand, tipping his hat in a gentlemanly gesture. Then, with a slight nod, he turned and disappeared into thin air, leaving Margaret standing alone in the corridor. From that day forward, the cleaning staff of the Old Infirmary would share their encounters with the Victorian man. Some claimed to have caught glimpses of him, fleeting and ethereal, in the corners of their vision. Others spoke of the sensation of being watched, even when they were alone in a room. The tales of the haunting manifestation became an integral part of the building's lore, whispered among the staff and passed down through the generations. Though the spectre of the Victorian man remained a mystery, Margaret couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude towards him. In his quiet presence, she found a peculiar comfort, as if he were a guardian of the Old Infirmary's history. And so, the building continued to stand, its corridors echoing with the stories of the past, while the caretakers went about their duties, carrying the weight of the Victorian man's silent presence with them. As the years rolled on, the Old Infirmary retained its haunted reputation, attracting the curious and the brave. Visitors would enter the building, hoping to catch a glimpse of the enigmatic figure, their eyes filled with wonder and trepidation. And while the Victorian man remained an enigma, his presence served as a reminder of the enduring connection between the past and the present, bridging the gap between 2 eras in the ghostly corridors of the Old Infirmary. By Donald J.